Time in YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting a brand new series called Deck Profiles, where we take a gander at some of the cool decks that are popping up on TCGO. This one here I've made myself, but what I would love from you guys is some recommended decks for me to try out. It does not have to be competitive, it could just be a fun, goofy deck, but if you guys have a full list, that would be much appreciated, and I'll gladly try it out. And of course, let the viewers know that you are the one that requested it. But for today, we are trying out a Snorlax Gx deck. This guy is kind of cool looking. Being the very first GX card that we can use on TCGO, I was like, you know what better way to start off a new series than using one of the brand new cards. And this will fit us right into Sun and Moon once it launches in February. Now, I do have a few decks already kind of lined up, which would be kind of cool, but I would like to make this series more weekly versus, like, every other day, just because it's just so hard for me to get time to record TCG. Anyways, quick look at Snorlax Gx. He's got 190 HP for a basic. That is insane! He's a colorless Pokemon. He's got 3 attacks, one of them being a GX, of course. He's got Collapse for 3 colorless energy. You're going to do 80 damage. This Pokemon is now asleep, which makes it really good because it leads into our Thunderous Snore. Costs you 5 colorless energy, but you get to do 180 damage. That is knockout potential right there. The only downside to this is this attack can only be used if the Pokemon is asleep. If it is not asleep, it does nothing, which is a bummer. But that's okay. We also have Pulverizing Pancake. 5 colorless energy it's going to cost you, but you get to do 210 damage. That is insane, but you can only use the GX attack once. This Pokemon is now asleep, which again puts you right into Thunder Snore range, which is fantastic because we want to be using Thunder Snore as much as possible and only use the Pulverizing Pancake if we have to. With that being said, let's take a look at the rest of the deck. Just to see if we can kind of balance it out. Now, this is a very janky deck. It's just kind of put together on the fly. I have not tested it, so there are probably a couple problems with it. That being said, I kind of wanted to bring it to you guys just to see if we could get it running anyway. I'm running 2 Shaman. For those of you who have never seen a Shaman before, it's a basic Pokemon, 110 HP. It is a colorless Pokemon with the ability set up. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand, which is a very, very strong ability. Pretty much play it, get draw support. It's amazing. It's also got Sky Return for 2 colorless energy. We get to do 30 damage. Return this Pokemon and all cards attached to it to your hand. So, if Shaman is currently in a bad position, go for that good old Sky Return, bring it back, and then you can drop your double colorless energy back on a Snorlax when you have that opportunity. Now, we need a way to get Snorlax in and out of the bench position due to the fact that Snorlax is such a it takes so long to set up Snorlax. I needed a way to get it into the position of attacking and not attacking. Best Pokemon card for that is Roark. It's stage 1, 100 HP for a dark type Pokemon, has the stand-in ability once during your turn. If this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch this Pokemon with your active, which is amazing. You've also got Mind Jack, 2 colorless energy. It's going to do 10 damage, plus 30 for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this thing is like a secondary attacker. It works very, very hard at doing what it's supposed to do, and once it comes in to attack, it can do some massive damage itself, so I'm pretty happy with this pull. The other thing too is we are running 1 Zoroark Break just to up that HP bonus, so you get 140 instead of 100. But you also get the attack foul play. For 1 dark energy, you get to choose one of your opponent's Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. What's amazing is this does bypass energy results. So if my opponent is, say, using a Snorlax GX, I can still go for their attacks, even though I'm only using 1 energy. So Zoroark Break is pretty cool. Our next line and our last Pokemon is the Hypno Drowsy. It's only got 90 HP, it's a psychic type, but this guy here will confirm that we'll be asleep every turn. Pretty much he's got the ability Goodnight Babies, which is all we're going to be using because we are not running psychic energy in the deck. Once during your turn, you may leave both active Pokemon asleep. This means Snorlax goes right to sleep, can go for his Thunderous Snore, and we're all good to go. 180 damage, confirmed. He's got Zen Headbutt, 2 Psychic, 50 damage, but we're not using it. Just to clarify. Now, we have to be able to get those energies, and if a Snorlax goes down, we have to be able to get those special energies back really quickly. Just a side note, we are running 4 double colorless energy, pretty much a staple, and we are running 7 dark energy. This way we can max out with our max elixir here. Max elixir lets you look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach a basic energy there to one of your basic Pokemon on your bench. Snorlax Gx being a basic, I can get those energies onto it pretty quickly, meaning 2 turns with 2 double colorless energy drops and a max elixir hit, I should be able to attack. That's not always going to be the case. This is not going to be a very competitive deck in terms of speed, so hopefully we begin able to take him out with a little bit of our bulk. Next up, I'm running 2 Special Charge. This just lets us get 2 of those discarded double colorless energies, throw them back in. Due to the fact that we may be losing Snorlax pretty quickly, I don't want to have that whole we're out of energy situation. So these things will help us out a little bit there. Next up, we are running 4 Trainer's Mail, pretty much our staples, 4 Ultra Ball to get our Pokemon out. We are running 4 Via Seeker to continue on our support train. Again, staples in pretty much every deck. A brand new card for me, because I have not played a whole lot since Evolutions came out, is Brock's Grit. Shuffle 6 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. So this gives us, it's like a better Super Rod, but unfortunately it does have to be a supporter line. You guys can switch this card out with a supporter, with the Super Rod I mean. It's entirely up to you whether you want it, you want the item shot or the support shot. The only reason why I'm running this is just due to the fact that I haven't seen it in-game before, so it'd be nice to see the full art action in the work. Next up, we have our Lysander. I haven't got a full art Lysander anymore, but either way, we have Lysander. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with his or her active. Pretty straightforward. We get to switch, get ourselves into a better position. Lysander is pretty much a one of every deck until this thing is out of standard. Next up, we have N. Each player shuffles his or her hand into their deck, then draws equal cards to their prizes, which is really good for early game draw or late game control. So N has always been a strong card, still will be a strong card. It'll be interesting to see what happens once N is actually rotated out. Next up is Sycamore. Pretty much discard your hand, draw 7 cards. Very, very simple, very, very effective, very, very good card. Then we've got our Skylight. Now this is a card that you can probably switch out depending on how you want to do your trainer supports. Skylight isn't always necessary, but I like it in case I need a particular card. If I need a Max Elixir, if I need a Special Charge, I need an Ultra Ball, I can get that. There were other card opportunities like Professor's Letter that I could have thrown in here as well. I just didn't. Next up is Parallel City. This is just to counter Mega Ray and Raichu and all those kind of things. It reduces your opponent's bench size down to 3, while you take reduced damage to, you do less damage with fire, water, and grass. Well, we don't have any of those typings, so it's not a negative. Our other stadium that we're running is a Reverse Valley. This is to help out our Zoroark. Ideally, we're going to be looking at the Dark Energy side, which gives us 10 more damage for our Dark Pokemon's attacks, while also upping Steel types Pokemon's defense by 10, I believe. I might be wrong on that. Pokemon. Yeah, it's this, yeah. That is exactly what it is. Our item cards are going to be Fighting Fury Belt. The basic Pokemon this card is attached to gets 40 HP plus 10 more damage. This means once this is attacked to a Snorlax GX, he's got 230 HP on a basic. That is insane! Unless you're Wailord EX, which will probably boost you way higher, but that's besides the point. This will also give our Thunderous Snore 190 damage, and our Pulverizing Pancake up to 220. So we're almost in range of being able to one-shot a Mega Pokemon even. So this is a very, very good opportunity there. We're running the Floatstone. This way we can actually get our Zoroarks in and out of the active position with free retreat. So pretty standard stuff there. But that is actually it for the deck. Hope you guys are fine with the deck. Let me know in any Let me know any suggestions that you would have changed up or added in or considered when making your Snorlax GX decks. If you've made one, let me know. But this is what I'm going to run for today's episode. Hopefully we can snag at least one win. Now, I am not going to be going off of wins or losses in this series. I'm going to try and get 2 games for you. That's best I can say. Wins or losses, it does not matter. But that is what we're going to do. So without any further ado, let's head up onto that VS ladder and see if we can get ourselves a W. Alright, let's see how we do here. It's been a long time since I've been on TCGO, but we are playing against Dodzy. Dodzy is his name. We get to actually call this coin toss. We're going to call tails like I used to all those times ago. It's been a long time since I've done TCG, not going to lie. But with that being said, Dodzy is going to be able to decide if he wants to go first or second. I don't even have a basic, so that is not good for me. And neither does he, actually. So we do see that he is running a fairy deck. So maybe Gardevoir, maybe. That might be a bad thing. Who knows how it's going to be. Either way, we do have to see that we are getting a Zora League. So that is going to be our Pokemon of choice. Not that we had a lot of other choices there. You had no additional basics. Now, the only thing that I'm starting to notice already is maybe I should have run with some... Okay then, so it's a Xerneas deck. Xerneas Rainbow Road deck. So this might put in a lot of pressure on me, especially considering my Zora is a very small baby and probably does not want to see anything. One thing I could have run, now that I'm looking at it, is a Pokemon fan club, which could have net me 2 Pokemon, but you know what? I didn't do it, so that's okay. I'll get that in the future deck where I make proper authority on my deck skills, because, you know, my deck building isn't all that great sometimes. But we do see a Max Elixir hit up onto that Rainbow Road Xerneas, who's got 2 of them now, and we see a Floatstone onto the Volcanion with another Ultra Ball going down. So he's going to drop a Escape Rope and Super Rod. He stitched a Delinquent as well. He's got 1 Pokemon that he's looking for. I want to say it'll probably be a dual-colored typing, so maybe a Joltik or maybe a Shaman to get him into a better position. But that other last card could be a Sycamore, which could be... oh, he actually goes for another Xerneas. Plays the Xerneas and actually passes the turn. So we actually managed to get our good old Snorlax GX. We are going to go with a Max Elixir, and we do get that Dark Energy, which we're going to put right onto our Snorlax there. And I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with this. I see. Done. And this is going to reduce his bench space significantly. He has to lose the Shaman already, which is an additional damage point. And I think I'm in a comfortable position just to Sycamore. I do lose out on a VS Seeker, which is fine. I do get a Floatstone up here. I get a Fighting Fury Belt there. We're going to go for a nice old Trainer's Mail, but unfortunately it's just going to net me into another N, which will be my 3rd N in my hand. I can play another Sword. Unfortunately, I will not be able to get any good damage off here. But that's alright. That's alright. Or not damage. We won't be able to get a double colorless energy, which means I cannot attack with Snorlax properly until turn 3. Now, I did get rid of my Lysander, so I can VS Seeker at any time. He has got nothing in his hand. Unfortunately, I do have to lead him right into what I don't want to do. Let's drop the double colorless energy. We can go for an N here. If I get a double colorless energy drop and a Max Elixir, I might be actually able to attack this turn. No, I cannot. I played the good old Doc Energy. I'm gonna go with the Max Elixir, which unfortunately I do not get any energy drops, which is very, very saddening there. But I just have to pass the turn. My opponent does have a fresh hand. but he needs a Fairy Garden to get rid of my Parallel City. In order for him to play any Pokemon, does get a Fairy Energy onto the Bisharp, and puts a Fighting Fairy Belt onto the Xerneas in the back. Does pass up the turn though, and I do get a Max Elixir. So, we get the Dark Energy. We're going to actually be able to attack with our Snorlax. Let's put that up there. I want a Skyla. And this will be able to get me my... via Seeker. This is the way I can get my Lysander at the next turn. I can retreat here for free. I just can't go in yet. But I don't want to do that. I want to stay in here. I can't go to sleep though. I will have to just go for a Collapse, which does put me to sleep, but I have no Drowsy, which is actually unfortunate. We are going to get our first prize of the game, and it is a Dark Energy, which I can probably put onto my Zora. The Volcanion does come up. I stay asleep, which is fine. But depending on my opponent's hand, he can actually get a Pokemon out. Does Lysander me out into the Zora, which is fine. If I have to, I can drop a Dark Energy onto it and switch it back out. Let's see what our trainer's mail gets us. Absolute nothing. Well then. Our Volcanion has 180 HP. And you've got 120. You know what? It might be better for me. Oh, you've got the Fighting Fairy Belt there as well. I might go for the Lysander here and grab the main attacking Xerneas. Prizes don't mean anything to me if I get attacked. But I can easily retreat back into my Snorlax. And I can go for my Pulverizing Pancake, which I will lose my GX, which is fine though, because I do get rid of the main attacker on their side of the field. And I'm going to get an Ultra Ball, which is great, because this means I can get my Drowsy. I do wake up. This does mean I can get my Drowsy. I can do a couple things. Unfortunately, the Bisharp is now fully evolved. And he goes for the Rainbow Force, which does 130 damage. I can actually just opt to discard my Sycamore and my Fighting Fury Belt. I should really pull the Drowsy. And then I can hope to get a Zoroark on the next turn. So we'll go with the Shaman there. Unfortunately, we did not get our Drowsy early game, which makes this very, very difficult. I can actually start setting up a secondary Snorlax as well. And I'm going to Ultra Ball. Do I Ultra Ball away my Floatstone? For a Zoroark. Because I can go into my other one that's not set up and let him damage that one. I think that's my best play. Because he doesn't have a lot of cards. And once I can put him to sleep, I can start knocking out his Pokemon. So I think that's my best play. So we do have a Zoroark here. We're going to set it up. And we are going to go for a stand-in, jump into the Snorlax position, and we are going to retreat out into our other one. Now this still lets me get into my attacking Snorlax the next turn, but it also means that I'm not going to lose out on a prize. I can then put Snorlax to sleep and consistently go for 180 damage. I don't think he'll be able to take out our good old Xerneas. Does just go for a Rainbow Force, does 130 damage, has no way of actually getting out of the position he's in, and I actually don't want to end. He's got a Retaliate, which does 30 plus 60, which is 90, and 90 is 220. I'll live at 230, which means he cannot take me out, which is a very good position to be in. So we are actually going to retreat out into our Snorlax here, and that is actually going to be the game, guys. So Snorlax Gx actually taking out Rainbow Road Xerneas. That was actually really amazing, because the Pulverizing Pancake really came in clutch there, really did the damage that we needed it to do. Now, I may have gotten lucky, but at the same time I didn't, because I didn't get a single Drowsy until late game. I didn't get a chance to actually put myself to sleep properly. So with that, though, we're going to see if we can at least get that combo off at least one more time in game number 2. So let's hope a little bit more comes. Alright guys, let's see what we can do here. We are going up against Garu's playing a Lightning deck. That's going to be a little bit of fun. It's not type effective, which is perfect. We're going to call Tails, see if we can go first. We lose the coin toss, which is, you know what, it's not a big deal. My opponent might want to go second anyway. It would be better for us to go first, just that way we get a turn of setup. But my opponent is taking his sweet time, deciding whether or not he's going to go first or second, but he has decided to go first. I really do like the sleeves, and we do happen to have those already. Unfortunately, I do have to mulligan, and so does my opponent, actually, so that's 2 games in a row that we actually both mulliganed, which is kind of funny, but at the same point, very sad. I still have to mulligan, which is not very good. My opponent also has to mulligan. I don't know what's going on with this whole deck strategy thing, but here we go. We have a ton of Pokemon. No Shaman, though, so it means I don't get the opportunity to... He still has a mulligan. Still has to mulligan. I will lead the Snorlax. I can drop the Zora and the Drowsy. And I'll be able to get an additional card due to him having to mulligan. Let's see what else he's got in here. He's got nothing. Nothing to really tell me what he's got in the deck. So he does have a good lead here. It is going to be electric Pokemon most likely. But I am going to grab that additional card. And it is the Shaman! That is going to help this turn out so much. Yeah, we're going up against the Blitzel. Wee little Blitzel. Has a Voltorb in the back. And we're... Oh, that hurts so much. We had a lot of good cards there. Not that I could have used the Zoroark right away anyway, but I definitely don't need the Drowsy. Actually, I should have led the Zora, because then I could have dropped an energy and then max elixir. I made a boo-boo there. I made a big boo-boo. Boo-boo I did. Let's see if I can get another supporter here. And I can. I can get the N there. So I don't have to keep the Sycamore, and I don't have to keep the Drowsy. We are just going to simply end our turn away. This is going to be helpful. I didn't want to use the max elixir because unfortunately the Snorlax is in front, and that's not necessarily a good thing. I can go for an Ultra Ball here. I'm going to be able to ditch my Sycamore and a Dark Energy. I can get those Dark Energies back through Brock, and I really shouldn't have done that. I should have waited, because really I should have gotten a Zoroark. You know what? I'm still gonna try and grab one. And if he ends me, he ends me. It's unfortunate what happens, but it does. I'm actually misplaying a lot here. I could have done a ton of things over this course of the turn that just really has hindered me. We do see the Electrode though, which he can sacrifice. It does give me a prize card, but it does give him the opportunity to draw energy. Or sorry, it becomes 2 lightning energy onto a Pokemon, which is really cool, but not worth the. It's a Raikou. That's all right. Raiku's cool. He does get the Raikou down. Blitzel's not going to be doing too much for me, but he's going to be able to remove the Electrode when he feels like it, and he goes for the end. So unfortunately, I wasted an Ultra Ball. It's bad. Again, it's been a while since I played Pokemon TCG, so I got my Zoroark back. Actually, I got 2 of them now. I got a little bit too many. I might actually sacrifice that line. Out comes... There we go. I can actually just go for the stand-in right now. This way I can go for a max elixir. And I do get a dark energy off of it, which is beautiful. Goes onto the Snorlax. I'm going to play my other Snorlax here. And I'm going to ditch my other Zoroark line altogether. This is a bad play, but in the same point, I can get myself a Shaman. Actually, do I just get the Hypno? Hypno is probably a better choice, and I can save the Shaman. I have a Sycamore in the back, so that's fine too. I can evolve here. I can put my opponents to sleep. I can go for full attacks. It's all good and dandy in the hood. So I'm going to go for the Sycamore because it does give me an additional card, and my opponent doesn't get to use this N as much as he was hoping to use. So I do get a Shaman. I get a whole bunch of goodies. So I'm going to put a Floatstone down here. I'm going to put a... Sorry, that's Fighting Fairy Belt. I'm going to put the Floatstone up here. And I'm going to Shaman for 2. Hoping for a double colorless energy. I do not get one. Trainer's Mail nets me a Parallel City. Which does force my opponent to lower his bench space, which is still good. I'll keep it that way. Unfortunately, I only have really a bunch of supporters that aren't going to do me any good. I didn't even get to play an energy this turn. So I'm going to actually retreat into my non-setup Snorlax. And I'm going to put us to sleep. This way, my opponent does have to wake up in hopes to retreat. Or at least he has to evolve. So I'm going to pass this turn. I wake up. He wakes up. That Hypno is useless. Now, my opponent did not like the end. Just based on him not playing anything prior, at least I don't believe he liked the end. That not necessarily means it's true. He's actually going to play an energy onto the Blitzel. Retreat it out. And he's going to probably go for the Electrode, which is actually going to give us a knockout here. Which is awesome, because I'm 1 prize ahead. And that gives me a Dark Energy, so that's not actually going to put me in a very advantageous place. But that's actually cool that they put the Electrode down. I take 110 damage. I'm going to opt to drop another Snorlax down. Drop the Dark Energy there. And I'm going to go for the end. As much as I know his hand isn't amazing, I actually have a Zoroark break now, which is very nice. And at this range, I'm actually just going to go for a stand-in and switch into my other Snorlax. What's really nice about these Snorlaxes is they are very, very bulky. I can't Mind Jack because it's not going to do a whole lot. And I'm just going to pass. Now, I do have a double colorless energy in hand now, which means that next turn I can actually go for my Thunderous Snore, which will be able to knock out the Raikou. The first one, anyway. Does go for a max elixir, does hope to get his electric energy, and he does happen to get it, so that Raikou will be able to attack me the following turn. He Tier Nose for 3, so no Lysander, which is fine by me. We see a Rough Seas, not gonna matter when I can actually one-shot your Raikous. Because even with the Shining Body energy boost, or HP boost, it's not really that intimidating. So I can drop a double colorless energy here. And now the idea is to actually get my Zoroark set up. I'm going to be able to go into my Snorlax Gx here. I'm going to put both of us to sleep. And I can go for the Thunderous Snore, which is doing 190 damage, which, actually it's only 170, but still. I'm gonna get a prize card from this. It's gonna be a Hypno, not gonna matter. My opponent does need another electric energy. I do wake up, but that's not a big deal. He cannot one-shot me here. And with the Raikou in front, this is actually gonna be our biggest target we wanna hit. He gave us a free support. He should not be giving up that electric. He's actually going to give up the prize right now. That is fine by me, considering he cannot one-shot me, especially with the Fighting Fury Belt, because I believe it only gives him plus 20. So he's 5, 2, 4, 6, 8. It's 150 damage right now. He goes for an escape rope. He goes for an Eva Soda here. Does not get the Zebstrika. It is prized. We look like we're in good shape here. The Raikou cannot take out my Snorlax GX. There's no way. Goes for a Via Seeker. I thought you Tyraniod already. I could be wrong. Yes, you Tyraniod already. So unfortunately, it's going to go for the Thunderous Lance. It does 150 damage. But that is okay, because we can go for a Max Elixir here. We do not get an energy, unfortunate, as it is. We can go for a Trainer's Mail. All I'm doing is I get another Max Elixir. Actually, I might go for the Brock, because I'm not in a position to really need to discard, but I can put a couple of cards back into my deck. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's only 3 cards. Well, that's what's going in there. And I'm going to go for my good night, baby. And that is 2 victories for today's matchup. Apparently Snorlax is kind of cool. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of the deck. Does it work? What cards would you put in to make it go a little faster? Maybe make it a little bit more consistent? Because as you guys could see, without the Hypno, I couldn't really do a lot of damage prior. I was able to either go for the Pulverizing Pancake, which I didn't have to use in game number 2, or I had to go for the original attack, which I forget the name of it right now, but that's Pokemon. I forget everything. But yeah, Snorlax GX worked out for us in one game. I'm pretty happy about it. That is it for today. I'll be trying to bring you another deck next week or again later in the week. I don't know what I'm doing with this series yet, but please, if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, because it does mean a lot to me. Lets me know that you guys are continuing to enjoy TCG content on the channel, and I'm going to try my best to get this content back to you as often as I can. But with that, though, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. But until then, time out.